Boozy Spirits with Matt Ray and Justin Grimble.
This is all you could ever ask for, Mike.
Is this where the camera is?
Yeah. I switch them back and forth.
Okay. And I'll be looking at you. I'm not really looking at the camera.
I got it.
All right. You ready?
Ready.
Okay. So we have special guests in the studio all the way from
Dallas,
Florida?
Georgia.
Georgia. Okay.
Dallas,
Yeah,
Georgia.
we're
We're
talking
south
Florida.
side
and
Atlanta.
that was throwing me. So we have Alex and Brady Ryder from Renegade Lemonade in here.
Thanks for having us.
I've been looking forward to it for sure.
Yeah.
We
Ever
have.
since the Food and Wine Festival. You had a line at the booth.
Yes, we
I
did.
mean, it was crazy. How
We
many people-
weren't prepared for that.
I know it. It was awesome, wasn't it?
It was pleasantly
And
unexpected.
you were the only one there working?
My daughter, my 23-year-old daughter was with me.
Awesome.
And actually, when I stepped aside to do the podcast with y'all, she got slammed. And I came back and she had this look on her face like, help me.
It's a good problem, though.
Yeah. Y'all are definitely the hit.
Yeah, we were very proud to be there, and we look forward to coming back next year.
And they're
Glad-
supposed to expand it.
Yeah, getting bigger.
So I think the capacity was 1,000 and it's going to be 1,500.
Oh, wow.
So it's a couple more blocks that they're going to add. So.
And I'm glad you're all here today, too.
Thank you.
And before we forget, like you said on TV, where can you buy it at? We throw that
You
out there
can
first.
buy Renegade Lemonade here locally at 5th and Handle. Spirits. I'm trying to think. I'm blanking out right now. Those are the two that are coming to mind.
There's the wine market Tuscaloosa.
Oh, the Wine Market Tuscaloosa. How could I forget? They've been doing an
Sure.
amazing spritz special.
Okay, awesome.
So definitely go to
Well,
the
it's
Wine
like an
Market
Arnold Palmer.
Tuscaloosa. Yeah,
Isn't it?
basically
Arnold Palmer. Yeah.
Arnold
so
Palmer.
it's just sweet tea or tea, and then the wine, and I think they add mint to it or something
Sounds
to
good.
it. But it just looks fantastic.
We'll have it at all the jalapenos next week or the next, whenever they show up.
Fantastic. Well, I didn't do the
Awesome.
margarita today. I guess I should.
Yeah, we should have done the margarita.
Yeah.
We'll leave it to Justin.
Yeah.
Matt, you gonna have it at your place?
I will definitely get it in my place too.
Yay.
So,
And yeah,
can
we're
count
going to
on
visit
that.
your place tonight.
And we have
was
Guinness on tap, so
Well,
I'll have
hey.
to
Well,
figure
maybe we'll have
out.
to play around with that.
Yes,
Yeah.
that'll be
Sounds good.
yeah.
So what do you got for us today? Let you introduce your product, talk about it a little bit.
Yeah.
People that don't know.
Well, Renegade Lemonade is 100% lemon wine.
So no grapes.
No grapes, just lemons. And my wife and I, we created it in our basement over COVID.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Just,
In
you know,
Dallas, Georgia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, the world was going to end. We had to make our own alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you
For
go.
a while there, we didn't know.
At least your priorities were right.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, well, we did lots of drinking, so it took about 30 batches to make the product that we'll be drinking now, and each batch was 6 gallons. So just do the math.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of things going on, but it was nice. We'd finish up a batch and I'd bottle it, and we had the kids put it in a little red wagon and distribute it to all the neighbors. Then we had a little text, chain going on, and was like, okay, here's a new batch. Let us know what you think of this one, and
Love it.
tweaking the yeast, the lemon juice, the alcohol, everything about it was just I was tweaking. And
Tell
playing
them,
around
tell
with
them how you found the recipe and how you came up with the idea to do it.
it. Oh yeah.
That's important.
So I just collected some old recipe books throughout the years and started looking through them over COVID. And there was one that I had got that was originally published in the 1970s. Had all these obscure recipes in it, kombucha, mead, beer, food, and wine recipes. And one of the wine recipes was a lemon wine. And I grew up until I was 10 in Los Angeles area. And my grandfather lived down in San Diego and had a big lemon tree in his backyard. And it just reminded me of him. And I thought, I like lemons. Most people like lemons. And I made it, had bottled lemon juice and other amateur ingredients in it. And it turned out it was pretty good. But right out of college, I managed a gourmet restaurant and trained with a chef. And I was like, I can make this better. And I started experimenting with fresh ingredients. Because you look at any of the cooking shows, it's like, hey, come in, they fix you the restaurant impossible. They come in, it's like, hey, why are you ordering this stuff? Make it from scratch. Do it yourself. So it was the same thing. Like, I bet with fresh ingredients this would be good. So I went up to Publix and grabbed some lemons and made another batch. And I'm like, yeah, it's better. Started doing research. There's 30 plus varietals of lemons out there. When you go into the store, and it's like, hey, a lemon or a lemon or a lemon. Yeah. But there's variety. So I asked Publix, hey, which ones of these can you order? And they're like, we can get these 6. So I got them and tasted them, and they all had different flavor profiles. So I started experimenting, blending them together, the yeast, oils, all sorts of other things. And so it's just like a fun project to do over COVID. I really didn't know it was going to blossom into a business until we started getting from our friends and family like, wow, oh my God, I love it. Mm-hmm. So that's how things started.
Crazy. And that's smart that you use the neighborhood to
Test the pool.
Yeah.
Well,
Taste testers.
Well, even after that, it was something where it still didn't know how people were going to be receptive to a lemon wine. I mean, we've got our friends, family, neighbors saying they love it, but they're biased.
right.
For sure.
I mean, you know, we've all had those people that like, yeah, I love that girl, but then after it's like, oh yeah, I hated her.
Yeah.
Like, well, why didn't you tell me that?
Well, this is how
Exactly.
this is how crazy this whole thing turned out. So my previous profession before Renegade Lemonade, I was a college professor. And I taught public speaking and human communication, and I have my students do speeches. And in the fall of 2020, I had a student do her intro speech, and she said, and my parents are opening up a vineyard. And I thought, I just looked up and smiled, and I said, okay, God, I'm listening. So the next day I brought a bottle of Renegade Lemonade on campus, snuck it in, gave it to the young lady, said, take it home, hurry up, take this to your car. And that evening, her father called my husband and said, because we were talking, Brady and I were talking, okay, we got to figure out a way to make this legit because we can't keep making it out of our basement. Let's try and find a local vineyard somewhere that has excess capacity. And then the student appeared. So then we got the call from her dad, and he said, love it, have excess capacity, and oh, by the way, we both work for IBM. And so it was crazy, and we moved forward with that. We did a test batch in the winter of 2021. He was opening his vineyard in
Summer.
Late summer. No, it was
July.
but it was fermenting during the winter spring because he opened up in like May-ish of 2021, and we rolled it out July 4th weekend. And we made enough capacity based on the vineyard's best weekend ever, thinking we could get through 3 months, and we were out of product in 3 weeks.
Wow. That's awesome.
It was wild. And so that was the first introduction of Renegade Lemonade. That was July 4th weekend of 2021, only 3 years ago.
How does that feel when you sell out? I mean, it's good, but I'm sure it's bad too because you're like.
Because then you're like, got to make more wine, you know?
Well, it's a phenomenal feeling.
Yeah.
And you know, it's really, really nice to see this. I mean, I'm not I'm amateur winemaker. Still, I think of myself as an amateur winemaker. And, you know, it's one of these that I'm learning every day, but to have something that people are out there enjoying, that there are people that don't like wine that are saying they love it, that there's master sommeliers that are saying it's an unexpected delight. You know, those kinds of things across the spectrum that you're getting. I almost, you know, look at the wine and think it's, in a way, a unicorn. I mean, there's very few people that don't like it. They may say I prefer something else, normal, but there's very few people that say they don't like it. And I know I've said before that you can get a world-class Cabernet Sauvignon or, you know, kind of thing that wins all these awards, serve it to 100 people. There's a good amount of those people that just won't like it. It's too much for them. Yeah. You know, it's too big. It's too, you know, too much. Well, I think there's more people that would try my wine that would say, wow, that's really good than those others.
Yeah.
You know, we're a fun wine. We're not a fine wine. I don't compare myself to a world-class Cabernet. But I do think that my wine's more accessible to a broad range of people.
I agree.
And we like that.
I hate wine. I told you when we tried it, I'm like, I love this. I'll drink it. I have some at my house, but like any other wine, I can't stand it. I hate it.
Well, you even said, I think it was you on the podcast that said, you know, this is a perfect gateway wine.
Yeah.
And
Sounds like
I
something
believe
Matt would say.
that's you know, great because it's, you know, to allow people to get into wine if they want.
Yeah,
and,
sure.
and there are lots of nice, accessible wines that people can say, hey, I've tried this lemon wine. I'm going to try a Sauvignon Blanc or a Pinot Grigio or a Gewürztraminer or a Riesling or, you know, work their way in. Or they may be like, hey, this is what I like. I'm going to drink it. And that's fine.
But for young drinkers, wine can be very intimidating, and they don't know where to start. So I think gateway wine it is.
Yeah, so what we brought for you today, a couple things.
Okay.
First we'll serve is our mule. So it's a version of our mule that we have. So
Sounds
it's
good.
really just ginger beer with the wine.
50-50.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty good.
It's a nice way also for businesses that don't have a liquor license that can only serve beer and wine. They could make these cocktails
Gotcha. Yeah, you
using
could
the
make-
wine, and
Smart.
they can, use less product and still say it's a cocktail.
Yeah, for sure. And how does it work when you're saying like the vineyard and everything? Since it's a lemon wine, it's not made with grapes. Does that still classify? Or how's
It's
that work?
actually classified as a country wine.
Okay.
Because it is fermented. It's using the same techniques that
Gotcha.
is done to make grape wine. So we are in a wine category, but we're just called a country wine. But that's okay because we're in the South.
Yeah.
That's right.
So that works.
Thank you, sir.
Right?
But we've had to educate even the TTB, so the federal
Oh, yeah.
government on things like they come back and they go,
Good luck on that.
well,
Yeah. Well, cheers.
cheers, guys.
Cheers.
That's really good.
Just the mule. I mean, lemon and
fresh.
ginger
It
and
is.
spice goes together really well. So
It's like
it's
a
just nice.
spicy lemonade a little bit.
And if you want to add a little vodka to it, you can add a little vodka to
Some
it.
tequila.
But I think it's fine just as it is, or tequila. But back to TTB. I mean, they came back initially like, oh, this has to be a lemon flavored wine. It has to say on the label. I'm like, well, it's not lemon flavored. It's
Lemon.
firm
It's
lemons.
lemons.
And they came back and they're like, okay, I hadn't seen that before. I'm gonna have to get back to you guys. And so
Yeah.
they went away. But then they came back and said, okay, lemon wine, you can put it on there.
Interesting dealing with them
it's-
because with our tequila we made, I had it. It was a roasted strawberry blue agave. They came back and said you can't say that. It's got to be a blue agave infused with roasted strawberries.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure y'all went through it, like certain wording and everything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Can't say
Certain
this,
wording.
can't say that.
We went through that because we're releasing in October a sparkling version of the wine.
Oh, nice.
Very
So
cool.
limited release coming out. It's something that's been requested by one of our big retailers. So we're rolling it out. But we've been going through the TTB, and I was told that you can't put sparkling on a label unless you do traditional methods of creating a sparkling wine. Well, so we had words in there like effervescence and bubbles and things like that. And they came back and said, hey, you can't have the words effervescence or bubbles unless you have a sparkling before the lemon wine.
And we're like,
We're like,
okay.
that's
what we want.
that way. So we put it back in, and they approved it that way. We're like, oh, thank you. We're like,
Yeah, it's crazy. All the
Telling
rules
you,
and stuff.
it's crazy.
It is crazy.
But they've offered guidance too.
Yeah.
They've come back and better than most government agencies.
It's a pain in the ass, but
They've
it's
been
a
helpful,
good
but
thing
it's a pain in
too.
the ass.
It's a good thing because I always tell people like you don't just made it in your basement and be like this is lemon wine. Like what's got in it? Oh, we put meth in it, but we didn't put it on the label. Like I was like that's why they do it. So this
Well, of course.
Oh yeah.
Of
No, I
course.
know, and we have to
But
have
it's-
all the backup
Yeah.
of here's, showing that no, there's only lemons going in
Yeah,
here.
it's in the
there are no
recipe and
grapes.
all that
There's
stuff.
nothing else going in here. Yeah, so
It's-
you do want those standards.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. It's just it's kind of interesting too that they have everybody's formula and recipes. It's like we had
No.
to send them the tequila formula.
It's like hopefully they lock them up in a
Yeah,
vault,
I know,
right?
They have everybody's, which is
That
crazy.
is crazy.
Yeah.
That's
They have
kind
a
of
lot of
scary
power.
too.
I know.
If I worked there, I'd be going through all of them. Like,
Yeah.
hey Matt, check this out.
Hey, let's break into the TTB and like sneak into their files.
Exactly. Yeah, this is so awesome. I mean, it's sitting on the beach drinking this. Yeah.
You know what's nice too, though? It lightens it up, right?
Yes.
Because if you drink Renegade Lemonade straight, or you're mixing it with vodka or tequila, you're gonna get lit in no time. So this is a good drink for the long haul.
It is.
Or the day drinking, or the beach drinking,
Or tailgating.
or tailgating, because that does
tailgating.
make for a long day.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Renegade Mule. So really simple,
good.
really easy, and you can use any ginger beer of your liking.
You have to make some of these tomorrow at the tailgate.
Yeah, for sure.
Show it off to some people
Yep,
there.
we will be ready.
Yeah, and it's so the next thing that we'll have, and I'm not trying to push us
Oh, you're good.
along, but just sort of move into it, is a bourbon drink. And this is
Okay.
something that wasn't my inspiration. Got it from a guy online. He has a couple million followers on TikTok. He got a hold of my wine, really likes it. But he mixed it half and half with Jameson Orange Irish Whiskey. And he was like, this is one of the top 3 cocktails I've ever tried, ever made. Incredible.
Sounds good.
Bells and whistles, all sorts of things. And I'd never tried Jameson Orange. So I went out and bought a bottle of it and made it. And it was very good. The only thing that I didn't like is the orange flavor had like an artificial orange taste to it.
Yeah.
It does.
So I'm like, eh. And I'm like, well, I'm a big bourbon fan, so let me try to recreate this with bourbon. And so I went out and got a wheated bourbon, this little heavier bourbon. You get a little more on it than what I was using before, like Buffalo Trace and things. And I created an orange simple syrup, just a little bit to it, and mixed it half and half, a little bit of the simple syrup, and it was really good. But I'm like missing a little something. And I started playing around and found that a little bit of rosemary in it, in the simple syrup, was like you get that fall taste, the orange and the rosemary
to it.
And I had it like 1 part bourbon, 1 part wine, and then a little bit of the simple syrup. And it was a really like an elegant, more of an accessible cocktail, almost a female. You know, some of the females would like. I was putting it straight up and out there, but I'm like, I like more, old fashions and things like that. So then I made another version, which we're going to try, which is really 2 parts bourbon, 1 part wine with it. And you put that over a big rock. I mean, it's like a nice between like an old fashioned and a whiskey sour.
Sounds really good.
Kind of thing. Yeah. So that's what we're going to try. So I don't know. Do we?
Yeah, let's try it out.
Yeah. Do you guys have any
Glasses?
I know I'm a big fan of, bourbon tastes better in crystal and stuff like that. And with big rocks. You have any of that?
I don't think we have any.
Well, you know what? I brought my own.
There you
I
go.
knew you guys may not. So I was like, I
go.
figure you guys may be stocked. But
It'll fit in this glass. We can try that glass.
He comes prepared.
I like it.
Oh, and by the way, here you can. We brought some hats. You want to give a
sweet.
hat while I get
For
these?
sure. Excellent.
Yes, sir.
And you'll like to.
And some cups for these.
Awesome.
guys.
Thank you. I'll give Bree a shout out from Fifth and Handle.
Awesome.
We're working to make a wheated bourbon. He's coming out with his own.
Yeah?
It's going to be finished in.
or
You want white or black?
I'll take black.
I'll take black too.
Black?
Thank you.
All
All
right.
right, and then check these out. We're really excited about this.
So he's going to finish his wheated bourbon in Caribbean rum cask. And it's 90% wheat.
How about them apples?
Oh, awesome.
That's awesome.
Is that close to crimson?
Yeah, I like the wheated bourbon.
That's close.
It's close.
they're good.
I mean, it's on the crimson garnet
Yeah.
spectrum.
Awesome. Thank you.
You are welcome.
It could pass.
Yeah. Very cool.
Thank y'all.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You can give that to Nikki so she's not mad at you.
Yeah.
Thank y'all. I appreciate it. It's a cool glass.
That is cool.
Thank you.
Looks like stained glass. That's pretty cool.
You want to hear the story of
I do.
how we came up
Absolutely.
with that logo?
Yeah.
It's a really fun story. So I don't have my phone nearby, but I can show this to you later. So Brady's colorblind, and at the Atlanta Dogwood Festival, he came across this artist that was painting animals, dogs mainly, and he saw a painting that looked exactly like our dog Renegade, which I think I told you we named our wine after our dog, who's
Yeah.
named after Florida State mascot. So he bought the painting because it's so vibrant and colorful, and he took it home and instantly fell in love with it. And I thought, this is so cool. We're going to put this on our label. This is going to be amazing. And then we realized this is an artist's work, and easier said than done,
Yeah.
not going to happen. And plus, if you see a dog on a bottle of wine, do you really know what it is?
That's true.
It could be wine for dogs. So I will show you the image later, and you could put a side by side. But we basically took all the colors that were in that painting. Imagine just a bright, vibrant, beautiful image of a cute dog, and then we just parlayed it into a lemon.
It's cool.
So, and then we got that
Cool.
trademark. So
Awesome. There you go.
happy. But
Nice.
yeah, that's the story of the logo. And it's simple. When you see a lemon, you know what it's going to be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So,
Well, and then put it in there because over time, not only am I coming out with a higher alcohol version of this, but I'm coming out with flavors.
Okay, cool.
So peach lemonade, pomegranate lemonade, strawberry lemonade. So I wanted to have in the logo all of those colors
got
already
you.
in there.
right, so that you could see.
So that I just, as we
Yeah.
change the label, it just changed the shade
Just a
on
little
it
bit,
for
yeah.
strawberry or for peach or
That's cool. That's
I
a
like
good
it.
idea.
that it's all in there.
So one of y'all's got to have some kind of marketing background then, right?
I don't know. I mean, really, it would be more me than you, I guess, because I taught public speaking and human communication. And the funny irony of all this is that I had every semester it was a assignment that I never wavered from. I always did it without question. I had my students break up into groups, random, and they had to develop a product or a service designed for the needs of college students. So it could be a study aid, it could be an energy drink, it could be a procrastination module, something to help keep them on track, a study buddy, whatever it is, right? And they had to create a whole marketing campaign around it. And then they had to market it for $19.99, and they had to do a commercial, and they had to hit their target market and explain everything and do a video. And here I am, not saying this is geared towards college students, just saying, but here I am selling my own product or our own product that we developed together. So it's really quite hilarious. And then the irony also is that a lot of my former students actually work for us part-time, helping us with tastings and so forth. So it's really beautiful. And I've taught them well, because then they could talk, they could present, they can handle objections, which a lot of people are like, oh, I don't like wine. So what's the comeback to that? Will you like lemonade?
Yeah. Drink it.
Right? So there's
catch
always
the cue.
Oh, you didn't, yeah. But anyway, it's just a lot of fun. We're having fun, and that's really what it's all about.
And I'm sure you chose like your brighter students to come work for you.
Yeah.
Well, of course.
Well, I mean, I taught for 15 years, so you can imagine how many students I have.
Yeah.
And sometimes I run into them. I'll see them. They'll be a server somewhere, wherever. And I will remember a face, but connecting the name with the face is really hard after a long time.
Yeah.
And so it's crazy. I'll go to a lot of places and I'll see people, or they'll say, weren't you my communications teacher? So.
Yeah, one of the things that I know Alex, retired from being a college professor, and one of the downsides to that is she made a difference in so many kids' lives.
Yeah.
I mean, I retired and I was a technology executive, cybersecurity kind of thing. I help corporations make more money.
Right.
She helped kids. And even at one of her milestone birthdays, a lot of the students came to it. And we had a point where you were able to get up and say what you'd like about Alex. And all of the students got up. And it was just like, you changed my life. That's what they're saying. And that's amazing.
It is. It is amazing.
So
I'm sure there wasn't
those
a dry.
teachers, yeah, those teachers.
I know. I'm starting to tear up now.
amazing.
I love those kids. I loved being an educator. I loved helping them just become better versions of themselves.
Yeah.
Hey, a lighter point.
Yeah.
You guys seen one of these?
I do. I have a
You got one of
2-1 in the
You got a
freezer right
2-1?
now.
Okay. These
All
So
are
it
right.
just
so
makes 2 at
awesome.
a time.
Yeah. Okay.
He
I'll
loves
let you guys
his
talk, and
toys.
I'll open this up because I know it's a little messy. But
So, yeah.
got to bring my clear ice.
You can,
I
you can
like
set it on
that.
that bar right there. It's got a towel top up there.
Yeah, I've got to figure a way to mass produce those so I can have. Right now, our old fashioned is 1-inch cubed ice,
Yeah.
but I want to.
Yeah. He's
Yeah,
a
there's
snob.
a way.
Okay, if he goes somewhere and he orders an old fashioned, they
Yeah.
don't have like a big rock. He won't get it. So.
I'm kind of the same way.
All right. So you speak each other's language. It's good.
It just you feel like you're getting your money's worth when
Yeah.
they put the effort into it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We just use regular ice at jalapenos.
Cheap bastards.
I don't know. Every Mexican restaurant I go into, I expect clear ice and crystal.
This is beautiful ice, though. I mean,
It is
look at
beautiful. Yeah,
that.
I love
Do
it.
y'all sell an old fashioned?
We have the tequila old fashioned.
Okay.
Yeah, tequila.
Just regular ice.
Yeah.
We don't sell enough to
Yeah.
justify doing all that. Nobody's complained yet, so.
This thing always sticks on me. I'm gonna take it off and just sort of.
So what's the name of this cocktail?
The Renegade.
Renegade. That's right.
Renegade. Although I do need to get something here.
Need paper towels or something?
Yeah, a paper towel or something just to
have
get the.
So how many states are y'all in currently?
Right now, we are in Alabama, Georgia, Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Mississippi.
Okay.
About to be compliant in Arizona, Texas, and Colorado.
Well, we're compliant in Texas and Colorado, just not at.
Okay, about to
Arizona,
be
we're still
compliant in
working on.
Arizona, Texas, and Colorado. We're
Yeah. Now
but
just
we
working on the
getting a
aspect.
distributor.
Cool.
So
Those will
we're-
be big markets too.
I
They
know
are.
it's hot all the time in Texas, but I do want to say, and I think I mentioned this to y'all before, that Alabama was our first state that Renegade Lemonade was distributed in, not Georgia, where
Really?
we live. And we were picked up by Pinnacle Imports. Very, very grateful to them. And actually, a friend of ours made that introduction. tasted. The owner and the director of sales didn't tell them what it was. Just said, "Here, try this." Because think about it. If you're being told what it is, then you have a preconception in your mind what you think it's going to be. And they were just blown away. And we've been one of their top sellers, and we just had our 1-year anniversary with them was St. Patrick's Day this year. So it's only been
really grateful to them.
a little over a year, but they're phenomenal, and we're grateful for every person we meet along the way. So
Cheers.
Cheers again.
Cheers.
What about Louisiana? Did you say in Louisiana or not?
almost
yet.
there.
Almost
Not
there.
there
It's
yet.
just left of Mississippi, so
Yeah,
we're working
getting
on
there.
it.
Yeah, we're.
Yeah, that's really good.
It's
So
like
good.
you taste the bourbon.
Yes.
You taste the sweetness and a little bit of the rosemary.
Yeah. I actually think I might like it more than an old fashioned, and I love old fashions.
Yeah. I mean, it's got a
It gives
really
it a-
nice, clean taste.
It does.
Too.
Yeah.
And it gives it a different complexity with the lemon. I mean, lemon makes everything better. That's just my opinion.
That's really good.
Well, the lemon gets. I mean, you taste it, but it's in the back.
Yeah.
It just
No, it's
accentuates
subtle.
all the
It's
other
subtle.
stuff.
Yeah, it's not overpowering.
Yeah.
It doesn't have that fake taste like you mentioned earlier, where some stuff has.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's just I enjoy it. When I
That's
was
really
testing this, it was like, okay, yeah, I can test it again.
Yeah.
Make sure.
Speaking
it's
of testing, when we were developing Renegade for the first time, I was teaching, right? And then I had to pivot to learn how to teach online, which I was not doing. Okay, I like this, what
Right,
we're doing.
right.
Yeah.
But those online teachers, God bless them, because that is not easy. How do you reach someone virtually?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
tough.
this man, he saved the day. He just kept coming. Try this one, babe. Try this one. I'm like, okay. You know,
The
it
kids are like,
helped
"It's the
me
best
stay.
teacher ever. She's hammered."
Yeah, it helped me stay afloat.
well, we had different methodology.
Oh yeah, we did. You want to know what his was? You guys are gonna love it. Go ahead, tell him.
Give them a B unless they deserve an A.
There you go.
It's not like that though. I mean, in the real world, you have to earn. You get what you earn and you deserve, not what you think you should
Right,
have.
right.
Or I tried my best, or whatever.
Well, it's more of all the stuff that they pile on you. I mean, she was working till 11:30, 12 every night.
Yeah.
Grading. I'd be like, I'm going to bed.
I will say
I'm
I was
doing
very
this,
jealous.
and-
He would go
Do
to
some
bed.
more
at-
research, some more.
Yeah, some more research, something like that. My day job, I was like, yeah, it's 2:00. I think I'm gonna stop for the day.
Well, all I have to say is that educators have a special place in my heart.
sure.
They deserve
Nice.
all the alcohol in the world.
Yes, they do.
And
And a lot more money.
a lot more
lot
money.
more.
Agree with
a
you.
lot more. God bless them all.
It's crazy that lawyers make so much money, and I think they are the least deserved. Most of them.
Yeah.
You know, I think educators should make a lot more money.
I amen to that. I'm going to drink to
Police
that.
officers, anybody
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That's making a difference.
Firefighters,
Exactly.
police
All that.
officers, nurses, all those.
Yes.
All the essential personnel.
I agree with you.
Politicians.
I don't know, but is winemaking essential? I think it is.
I think it is.
Anything involving
It might have
alcohol.
been, yeah, because it was alcohol.
You can probably relate to this. Like when I was trying different recipes for downtown, when we opened it because we wanted different cocktails. I'd make something, try it. It's all right. I make something different, and then my wife was like, "You're hammered at 7:00 at night." I'm like, "No, I'm not. I only tasted." She's like, "You tasted 25 different drinks." I was like, "Okay, that's true."
Okay.
And I'm sure you did the same. Like, just
Yeah.
taste
Oh.
a little. Let me add something else. Taste a little.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and different cocktails. We're trying to go through it, doing
The next
things.
thing you know, you're
When we
wobbly
tried
trying to walk through the
variations, how about when we were experimenting with the sparkling, right? Because we want the right amount of
Yeah.
bubbles, right? And we
Right.
want the right amount of sweetness. And my head was spinning. He's like, not all these things. And
Yeah, I had to get all the variations
And then we had to,
out
like,
there. I
cleanse
mean,
our
I even
palate
whittled
and-
them down, because I was trying to get a specific profile to sparkling. Because when you put in carbonation to things, it changes the complexion.
It does. Yeah.
It's tartar. The sweetness goes away. There's just other things that come out. So had to go in and manipulate the recipe, manipulate the amount of bubbles, manipulate everything about it. Had to be tuned and changed, and it's exciting. It's fun, and that
Always
one
different.
Yeah, it's going to be neat because we spent some time. I had a vision originally for a bottle design, and it was going to be really. There's a printing technique where you can print onto the bottle itself, and it looks like it's painted on.
I got you.
And there's a couple out there, but I wanted to use that technique and really create it where it was lemon tree limbs that sort of went all the way up around the thing with like the flowers, the buds, the lemons,
sounds
just off there. Yeah, it sounds expensive. Yeah,
exactly.
I wanted them to
But it
think
would
of the
be
Amalfi
cool.
Coast.
Yeah.
You know, I
Right.
wanted to think
Yeah.
of that kind of thing. And our 21-year-old daughter is an artist. And we had originally thought, a commissioner artist. We have a friend of ours that's a very famous wine artist. We're like, hey, maybe we can commission him. We're like, yeah, well, we'd have to pay him like so much money. And then we're like, we have our daughter who won like most likely to be the next Van Gogh kind of thing, in her high school. And,
We're a little
she's
biased.
an incredible artist. And
Yeah.
we're like, well, why don't we ask her if she wants to do it? And she said yes. And so she helped us create the label, but it's a toned back version just because we needed it out. And it took her a while to make, to create a painting.
Yeah.
So she created one aspect of it, and what this bottle is going to be, it should be a nice showcase. It's a sparkling style bottle, but it's going to have our logo
The lemon.
on the front. That's
Big.
all that's going to be on the front, about that big. And then on the back, it's going to have this lemon tree or lemon limb. And then with a writing there. So it's going to be kind of fun and nice, and hopefully
wanna
people will correct it.
That sounds really
collect
cool.
it.
And it's going to mean more.
It's
Yeah.
Because
very
it's your daughter.
special.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah, I was glad to have her and some of our other children involved in the business and interested in being in the business.
since you're pulling that up, I do want you to show them the painting of Renegade.
I don't know that I have it. You have
you
it
do.
easier than I do.
Well, I don't have my phone nearby.
Okay.
Surely you have that on your phone.
I'll find it.
Okay.
Whatever you want.
Yes, dear. She even signed it and everything. I'm
cool.
really, really proud.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see, but you can,
That's a really good cocktail. I think me and Matt liked it.
That's awesome. Yeah.
so
That lemon is just. It's
It's-
really. I mean, it really is. It catches your eyes.
Thank you.
it does. And, the thinking, I know we went through iteration, and it remains to be seen how it will sell with it. But my thinking was that, that logo attracts attention. And if I get it as big as possible, you think a wall of like six
for
of
sure.
those lined up, you're at least going to be like, what is that?
Yeah.
So you're going to go over, pick up the bottle, turn it around. Now you see sparkling lemon wine and, read it. You see that. So that was my thought. Plus, a lot of people with, nice wine bottles, bourbon bottles, tequila bottles, and others like to collect them.
Yep.
Bring them home. And I thought this would be a nice one to collect, that painted on look and things.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna turn out good.
Yeah.
And all the other bottle looks great too.
I think I have a
Thank
little
you.
more of this if you guys want some more bourbon.
Might as well a little bit.
Wow, they're ready.
It looks like a lot more.
We do this for a living, right?
Yeah.
Someone's got to do it.
Exactly.
You're pros.
I love it how you come prepared.
For sure.
With ice cubes and everything.
With ice cubes and
Nobody's ever
everything.
brought ice cubes in
Yeah.
here.
What's up with that?
Very
I'm
impressive.
fancy like that.
I like it.
I like it.
And glasses and everything. I mean,
That was really good.
Hey, we're happy to be here. Thank you again for having us.
I like my bourbon, so.
Like you said, you can taste the little hint of bourbon, little hint of lemonade, the little hint of rosemary. Mm-hmm. Like I get like a big hint that I'm not going to go to work later.
Yeah.
I want to make sure the recipe for the Renegades on our website.
It's
yes?
on our website.
Okay, awesome.
Yep.
yeah, that's
I think
awesome.
We've got
'Cause-
both versions on there.
Might make some of those tonight at home for.
So, what's your bourbon of choice when you're sitting at home drinking?
Buffalo Trace, if I get it.
Yeah.
I like that.
Don't you like Blanton's?
No, I would never. Well, I mean, I like blends, but it's not something I sit around the house and drink.
Right.
Because of the cost.
It's hard to
Yeah,
find.
I
it
don't
is hard
think-
to find.
Yeah, we went to one of her friend's wedding where they had that as the well bourbon.
What?
I'm like,
You
can
can
I have
imagine.
the little tops?
Exactly.
It was crazy.
Yeah,
That is
He was so
nuts.
excited.
I wonder how many bottles they went through.
quite a bit. That's what I was drinking all night. But no, Buffalo Trace, I enjoy that. Larceny has
Yep.
a pretty nice bourbon. So
Yep.
it's like one of those bourbons, like $30-ish kind of thing, is my sweet spot.
I agree.
You have to get you a bottle of Breeze Maker's Mark when you go over there tonight. So, Bree, me, and Matt went to Maker's Mark and picked it out.
I saw that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like Maker's Mark.
It's really good.
Yeah. Okay.
It was a cool
It's a
experience.
little on the sweet side, which Maker's Mark to me is a little
I
sweet.
I mean, Buffalo Trace a little on the sweeter side
Yeah,
too.
it is.
Yeah. It was a cool experience. So they had just sitting here, it was 3 of us and the distiller, and they had like each different stave. And like you made a little board of 10 different ones, like your little combo. And they went over there and made it. And they're like, this is what it'll taste like in the barrel. So they had like, a formula for each one. We got pretty hammered.
We do get
Made
hammered.
like 7 different versions.
I think I saw
a good
that on
time.
your socials. It was like 6 or 9 months ago, something
Yeah,
like that.
something about that.
And Bree's so awesome. I mean, Bree is.
Yeah, I can't wait for you to meet him.
He's a great guy.
That's that fun experience.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd like to.
And
be
it
able to
turned
do
out
that.
really well too. To grab you a bottle of it.
Yeah, I will grab a
We
bottle.
call it what we call it, banana bread pudding. That's what we named it.
Ooh.
Banana bread pudding.
And that's kind of what it. I mean,
Okay.
it truly tastes like that in a glass.
Okay.
I'm excited.
I'm excited about that too.
Well, we're going there next to do a tasting of Renegade Lemonade. So
Very
y'all
cool.
come on down to 5th and Handle.
Yeah.
Yes,
Check it out.
Yes.
it's a cool shop too.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, when
here's
we're done
something-
with these, we have one more drink we're going to give you.
Okay.
And that's our cinnamon brown sugar hot toddy.
I'll work. You can go ahead and
know,
make that one. I'm saving this
yeah,
one.
and you can.
Well, here's something fun. While he's making that, we
Yes.
actually connected with someone at the West Alabama Food and Wine Festival that day that I met you. That is a University of Alabama student, and he's an intern for us and helping us. He actually
Really?
lives in Atlanta, excuse me, and he worked with us over the summer. Now he's back at school, and he's going to be doing regular tastings of Renegade Lemonade at 5th and Handle
nice.
on Fridays, just not today because
Yeah.
we're here. But very
That's
excited, very proud to have someone that we met now representing us. And although he's a senior, so he'll be graduating, and I'll need to find someone when he leaves. But yeah, it's a wonderful circle of life how you meet people. And
So this is the wine
Okay.
with cinnamon and brown sugar, put in a crock pot for 2 hours. And it changes the complexion of the wine completely. It's a nice little slow burn down your throat. The alcohol comes forward. Tastes like the holidays.
It really does.
that's just
That's
3
smooth.
ingredients. That's
That's
just our
dangerous.
wine,
Yeah.
cinnamon, and brown sugar. That's
Just
it.
that holiday party, people like it. You walk in the door, you smell the cinnamon,
Yep.
you get the little lemon hint there.
That's really good.
Yeah, it is.
We call it Christmas in a cup.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be added to my Christmas party list.
Yeah. When I created this wine, looking at solely as a wine, I didn't really anticipate the applications outside of that. And just, restaurants and other people just making all sorts of craft cocktails and things. So it's wonderful. And there are very few products, I mean, vodka, yeah, but very few products that you can
Wines.
mix universally.
Right.
Wine.
I was
And
going
this
to say
seems to
it's
mix
so much more
across the
versatile
board.
than any.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
it's-
when you talk about the cooking applications,
you hadn't even touched on that.
I know that's another segment.
And I do the same thing with tequila. Like I'll find a recipe, like say this one, and I'll replace it with tequila, which most people are like, kind of like what you did. Like you don't make a mule with wine, but you're like, let's try it out.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why I do a lot of my every cocktail we have is tequila based. And somebody's like, isn't that made with gin? No, we made ours with tequila. I'm like,
Not here.
I never thought about that before.
Yeah, and you can add
Yeah.
some nice little components to it to accentuate the tequila,
Yeah.
that agave, that taste,
Yeah.
which is a wonderful taste.
Same
I
thing
mean,
like
I
you've done with
love
this.
tequila. Not the ones that I drank in college with a worm, but
Exactly.
That's exactly what I tell people because we do a tequila experience where you have 4 different tequilas. We pair them with a meal. And it has like a 4-course meal, and everybody's like, I don't drink tequila. So I always started out, I'm like, this isn't the shit you had in college.
Yeah.
We're gonna sip it. It's room temperature. So I don't have salt. I don't have lime. And they're like, what? We don't have that? I'm like, no. We're gonna sip it straight from the bottle. That's how it's supposed to be. I'm a real tequila snob. So then at the end of it, they're like, this is amazing. Let me take a picture of that bottle. Let me go.
Yeah,
where
where's
can I
this
get
been
it?
all my
Yeah,
life?
where's it
Yeah.
been? I was like, because you had Montezuma shooting it in college and felt like crap.
Yeah.
yeah.
How many tequilas do you
We
have?
have 283 downtown.
Well, downtown is where we're going for lunch tomorrow.
Yeah.
Largest in the
We're going to
South.
start off the happy hour there, and get some food in us before we go down to tailgate, before
Okay.
we see our first Alabama game.
That's what I was telling
First
Brady. Y'all
Alabama.
go to Sanctuary tonight. It's a cool
Yes.
place for the
Yeah.
evening. And then tomorrow, take a Uber to downtown, then take a joyride down to the quad and come hang out with us.
Yeah, we can't wait. And we'll be bringing Renegade to the tailgate party tomorrow.
we go.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Renegade loves to party, right?
Are y'all ready for some Alabama football though?
I don't know. Are
We're
we?
ready for some good football.
Actually, no, I am. I mean, I enjoy a great football game.
Yeah.
And
I think
Alabama's
they're
a
gonna
great football
They're
team.
going to destroy USF, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
they
like a
will.
good football game, but hopefully USF will show up a little bit, so it's not a
I
complete.
hope so, too, yeah.
You know,
It's a fun time. And it's a really cool stadium.
I've heard amazing.
They put on a cool little like light show in the third quarter, and once it gets a little darker, like it's just really cool. It's
It
cool.
is cool.
Yeah.
Just
Well-
the history. I mean, it's
Yeah.
We want to go around. I mean, we want to
Make a
go
tour.
around
Yeah.
and make
Yeah.
tours
Yeah.
of different stadiums throughout the Southeast and then branch out from there. I mean, with the exception of Gainesville, I mean, we'll go anywhere.
And I think tomorrow they're doing a little ceremony for Saban to officially call it Saban Field at Bryant Denny. So y'all be there for that.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's historic.
First game at Saban Field.
You know they're closing the roads at 12.
Really?
Kind of like homecoming.
Oh, really?
So
too.
what
Okay.
time
Because
is it?
of that.
Homecoming?
It's
Oh, I
not,
was
but
just saying,
they're
so
they're doing it because Saban Field. It's a big
Big
deal.
deal.
well, then we're super honored to be here.
Yeah.
Right? Wow.
I always said they should have just renamed it Saban Stadium or Bryant Saban. Nobody
Bryant
knows
Denny
who Denny
Saban.
is.
Well, you know,
or
he
Saban
was
Bryant.
Oh,
he
yeah.
was
Denny's
in
got a
Ireland
chimes.
when we were there.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Was he?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't see that?
Uh-uh.
With what's his name, Pat?
Oh, that's right.
When Pat was just chugging beers.
So those two, yeah, they put them right next to each other.
Yeah.
Yes, I need to pull it
so
up.
funny.
It's-
I've seen so many. Like he's over there
Yeah,
dancing
he's
and
over
stuff.
there,
and
just
Nick
dancing.
Saban's
Saban's like,
Yeah.
Maybe it's like the Odd Couple. Maybe they'll develop that
Yeah.
rapport over the time.
I
and
bet
stuff,
Saban will
'cause,
loosen up by the end of the football season.
Well, I mean,
maybe.
he doesn't have the pressure anymore, right? He can
doesn't.
just relax a little bit.
I guess was game day in Florida State?
Yeah,
last
it was.
week?
Oh, yeah.
Is that what it was?
Oh, yeah, there were some signs.
Like, I think he was there in the morning, and then he was at the game here that night. They're
Yeah.
like, he's just living the life, like
Yeah.
just flying up here, going to the game.
He went
having
to the
fun.
game that same night?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because it's a 6-hour time difference from Central. It's 5 hours from Eastern, and it was a time. Let me tell you what, to see game
bet.
day in Dublin
That's cool.
was
Yeah,
wow.
that was
But
cool.
I will
Imagine.
say there were
was
more Florida State people there than Georgia Tech. We were representing.
that's cool.
Although, yeah, I mean,
Although we're sad.
I'm not saying we should have won because
No.
we didn't. You know, they played better, Georgia Tech there, but it's one of those things. I was wondering, it was probably
75%.
Yeah,
Really?
Florida State.
Oh, yeah. There was a lot of
around
garnet
A lot,
there.
Oh, yeah.
lot of garnet and gold, and I was wondering what the economic impact is of a team that comes that loses because it's like after the game it just wasn't.
Yeah, everybody
Right.
It wasn't a big party
Crying in
atmosphere,
their
and there
beer.
weren't a lot of
That's
Georgia
true.
Tech
Yeah.
fans out partying
Right.
either. So it's like,
No,
oh,
but they weren't partying even when they won. We were all out and we're like, where are they?
yeah.
disappear. Go to the
But you
So
hotel.
where'd
know-
y'all go in Dublin when y'all went out?
We were only in Dublin for 2 days, so we flew overnight, got there Friday. The game was Saturday, and on Sunday we took a train to Galway and then made that our home base, and that's
Yeah.
on the western part of the island.
Very cool.
And then we did a bunch of day trips, and thank goodness I had my driver. Well, let me tell you how extraordinary this man is. Not only does he make wine out of lemons, but he can drive a stick shift
on the
on
wrong
the
side
left
of the road.
side. No, not only on the left side of the
There's
road,
no
but
wrong side. There's only one.
correct
lane,
But he's-
basically.
Yeah, you're on the opposite side, but then the stick shift
Is
was on
on
the
the
opposite
left.
side too. So now you're having to use your left hand
I
to do the
literally-
stick shift.
That's impressive.
And
That
so
is
that is
impressive.
And then
impressive.
you're going down these country
crazy.
lanes, that are not much
They're
wider than
probably
this
about this
table.
wide. I
There's
swear.
like a rock
Maybe a
wall
little.
on one side.
They're in rock wall and telephone poles on the other
Yes.
side and hedges. And we're going, and it's a little van. And I mean,
It was not a
every
little
time I'm
van.
going, the shrubs are hitting the side the whole time, but boom, 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 over there. And it's
It
like
was-
you come around a corner, like you're going up, and you come around like a roller coaster, and here's this semi truck coming towards you,
Yeah.
and you're like, how am I going to get through that space? And you're looking like, oh.
And they just do it. I mean,
Yeah.
it
And
doesn't
I was the
phase them.
navigator, so I was in the front seat trying to
And
tell
you
him
know,
where to
that
go.
was-
And
that- you did the best job navigating.
really,
You did.
I was scared. I mean, I trusted you.
Well, and the reason
fully.
she did the best job navigating is she didn't activate her data plan in Ireland. So she wasn't looking at her phone, texting all her friends and stuff like that.
Had to
She
do
was
something.
actually paying attention, and she did an incredible job
Thank you.
navigating.
Nice.
Thank you.
I think the one problem we had is when you did get on like
Well,
FaceTime with the family.
no. You told me.
I don't know where to go.
He said no. He said next time one of those trucks comes our way, get it on video. So I'm like, okay. So I'm sitting here trying to get this on video because it was unreal, right? And then he knocks the phone out of my hand, like, woman, I need to see. And I'm like, you wanted the video, like.
Yeah, it was just one of these things where there's like cars all over the place, a
Yeah.
big truck coming towards us and stuff, and I'm like trying to look out the side view mirror to see how close I am
Right.
to the hedges and stuff, and she's like, filming this stuff, and I'm like, get out of the way,
Document it.
get out of the way.
We went 2 years ago for St. Patrick's Day and stayed for 10 days.
Oh, so you
And
know.
I rented a car and drove,
So you
so I
know.
do
You've been
You
there.
know.
Did you go to the Cliffs of Moher?
Yes.
Isn't that phenomenal?
Yeah. I mean, that whole country is so
That's
It's
the picture of
beautiful.
Photoshop
I know.
of you.
It is. Game of Thrones style?
No, it
or,
was Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
was an awesome
so
picture.
green, right, Matt? I mean, I've never
is.
seen a greener place in my life.
Yeah.
So the Irish people, we had several Irish people
And they're
say
so nice.
They're nice.
that they were gonna film the Lord of the Rings there, but it was too wet, so they had to move to New Zealand. And
That's crazy.
It's like they felt it as a personal affront.
Did it rain every day? It rained every
No,
day we were
no,
there.
We were pretty lucky,
We're
actually.
pretty lucky. It rained a couple days.
Yeah.
But it was at like decent times.
Right.
And at the game day, it was clear and didn't rain all day. During the game, there was like a
Little
20-minute
bit- little
period
bit of
where
rain.
it rained,
Mm-hmm.
but the stadium was very nice. All the seats were enclosed.
Really?
So it's like it had a cover that went around most
It
of it,
was
and
nice.
the center was open.
It's cool. That's-
And then the
I've
sun
never seen it.
came
It's
out.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very
Sun
It's
came
kind of
out.
like being in Boston, like
Yeah.
it changes every 5 minutes.
Still a cool experience either way.
It was great.
is.
We were so grateful to go. We went with our besties, my roommates from Florida State, because he
Nice.
wasn't there when I was there. I wish he would have been there.
Yeah.
That's like me and my buddy went to the national championship game. Alabama played in Indianapolis. Who we play? Remember?
Georgia?
We played Georgia?
Yeah.
So we
In Indy,
we stayed
yeah.
in Louisville. So we're like, let's go to some distilleries. And I bought like not my first bottle of bourbon, but like my first like collector's bottle of bourbon. And he bought one. Then we went to where we go to Jim Beam or somewhere, and they're like, this bottle's $150. We're like, ain't paying that. And we tasted it. We're like, let me get one of those. Then that was what, 2 years ago. Now
Louisville a
Now like
great
my whole
place?
dining room, every single bit of it's full of liquor bottles.
You were indoctrinated.
So I was like,
into
even
it.
though we lost, we still had a good time. It was cool experiences.
That is
so
true.
Yeah. Yeah. Louisville we visited several
we
years
played
ago.
Louisville, and we
played
won.
Louisville. We
Okay.
went up there.
Florida State,
and
Louisville.
We
It
went
was
to
like
Buffalo
2 year- it was
Trace
2 years ago.
Distillery
Yep.
and
Right?
went to some great restaurants.
I was going to
And,
say the restaurants up
Louisville's-
there
phenomenal.
are amazing.
Yeah.
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 all those places are fun.
We want to try to figure out a bourbon partner. One of the
Yeah,
big
we're looking
guys
for
to
one.
partner with.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'd love to have a drink at Churchill Downs someday.
That'd be cool. And this one right here, that'd be good.
On a chilly day.
I mean,
Any of them.
well, and yeah.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
we
all these,
also
'cause-
make a lemon mint spritzer, which I think could be a good,
yeah, with the mint and
like
all
with
that.
like a mint julep, but
Yep.
better.
It has to have bourbon at the Kentucky Derby.
Okay.
Yeah, that is true. Have you been to Mexico yet?
Yes.
We've been to Mexico. We haven't been to Mexico. Well, we brought
like
Renegade.
Mexico, or like resort Mexico?
No, resort
That's
Mexico.
different. That's totally different.
Resort Mexico.
That's totally different.
That's
Like
American
what part of Mexico
Mexico.
are you talking about?
Like Jalisco, where they make tequila. Like
No.
Mexico. I need to go. That's a fun
although,
trip.
although I'd like to go. I thought,
Yeah.
I think we're already thinking right now how we can get international with
Mm-hmm.
Renegade.
Yep.
And Alex's family is from Argentina.
Okay,
her
awesome.
background. And still a lot of people down there. And I'd love to have my secondary production facility be in Argentina. They're
Mm-hmm.
wonderful wine producers.
Yep.
We get a lot of our lemons from Argentina. And so to make it down there, and it's very cheap. I mean, Argentina, I mean, that's a country. We went last year. It was my first time. Magical.
Put
Really?
that on your
Just
bucket
such
list.
a
for
Really?
sure.
lovely. The only thing expensive about it is getting there.
Yeah. I've never
So-
been to Argentina. My wife and my business partner, they're both from Colombia. So I've been to Colombia 13 times, I think. So it's similar to Argentina. It's like, it's just beautiful.
But you were
place.
just running Coke mainly, weren't you?
I was in college. It was just such a
13
beautiful place.
trips.
Yeah.
I mean,
I came back one time. Speaking of that, like, the guy was like, "What are you doing there?" I was like, "I was visiting my fiance at the time in Colombia." I was like, "Yes, sir." They're like, "What do you do?" I'm like, "I own a Mexican restaurant." He's like, so you own Mexican restaurants and you're visiting your wife in Colombia? And he's just like staring at me. I'm like, I don't have nothing. Like, starts making you all nervous.
Yeah.
They're like, I was like pulling Facebook, like, here's me at the restaurant. Like, here's a picture of my wife, my fiance.
We have
I'm
some
like,
Colombian influences
Yeah.
in the menu.
Exactly.
he's like, okay, stamped it. I was like, I felt like I had drugs on me. Like,
Yeah.
They make you feel guilty.
It's funny when you go through immigration, you're like, because when we travel, we bring Renegade Lemonade with us, right? So we're thinking, how are we going to justify getting all this wine?
Yeah.
When we went to Ireland, no one even looked. It was just
We
nothing.
read all the
Yeah, you're
regulations
trying
and
to get it all
we
right.
packed our bags even
Accordingly.
according so we could
Yeah.
justify bringing the wine
And we
in.
left 4 bottles behind just to be
Just to make- yeah.
to be
Hey,
within the regulations. And I'm like, damn.
And then we get off the plane and they're like,
good.
customs, just go straight through,
I did the same thing.
looking.
And on the way back from Mexico, I left a couple bottles with a buddy in Mexico. I'm like, I don't think I can take this many. And the custom guy's like, what are you declaring? I'm like, I got like 5 bottles. He's like, you got 1 bottle? I was like, no, I got 5. He's like, you got 1 bottle? I'm like, I got 1 bottle. He's like, you're good. I was like,
Wow.
I caught your drift. I got it.
Okay.
No,
You give them a 20 on the way
Yeah,
out.
same thing. I was like, damn it, I should have brought those other 2 bottles. I could have got all of it.
Yeah.
You never know.
When we went to Argentina, they have the duty free. Mm-hmm. And I didn't buy it. I actually packed a couple bottles of bourbon to bring down there because I thought, hey, bourbon from the United States, bring it down there. And the family loved it. But when I went into the duty free, I'm like, wait, I bought this bottle of Buffalo Trace and this one's like half the price.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? And they
I
had
should
it.
have bought it
And
here.
They had it
Yeah.
in stock.
They had it, and it was like
Tons of it.
it was like a liter bottle, and not like a 750. It was
Right.
a liter bottle, and it was still
Cheaper.
$15 cheaper than what I bought it for. And I'm like, I should have done it here and just brought it down through the duty free. You live, you learn.
Lesson learned.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, all of these have been fantastic.
They have.
Anything else y'all want to add before we close it up? I know y'all have to go to Fifth and Handle soon.
Yeah, we do.
Shout out to
So what's
them.
your weekend look like? What are y'all planning on doing
we
while
are
you're in
going to go to
Tuscaloosa?
Fifth and Handle to do our tasting this afternoon, and
Cool.
I'm definitely going to stop by the wine market in Tuscaloosa
Yep.
because they also carry us, and I'd love to meet them personally. And tomorrow's the game, and it's all about just having fun at the tailgate
Hanging
with
out.
y'all and
Good time.
and experiencing the stadium and the game and all of it. I mean, we love college football. We think it's the most marvelous time of the year. I don't think anyone would disagree
Agreed.
with that statement.
Yep.
We've waited a long time for this time of the year to come, and I want
Sure.
to enjoy it because it does seem to go by very quickly.
We got good weather tomorrow. and
I know.
Yes.
I'm so
I think
excited.
the atmosphere is going to be better. Like Matt said, there are a lot of events going on and stuff. But from last week, even though it's not a big team coming in, like Georgia or somebody, it's still, I think a lot more people are in
Yeah,
town.
they're treating it like a SEC game. I mean,
Yeah, there'll be a
So-
lot more excitement.
Yeah.
And
You know, I mean, think
our
about
season's
it.
over.
you're only 2 games. Y'all could go
we're
10 and 2,
0-2.
right?
Sure, yeah.
You could technically.
We could.
Hey, as long as we beat Miami and Florida,
There
I'm
you go. It
good.
doesn't matter. Yeah.
And Miami looks really freaking
did look
good.
good.
this
Miami
year.
looked really good.
They did.
We're actually going to that game because I'm from South Florida.
So where's it at?
It's in Miami.
Okay.
But last time we went to the game was
We
2 years ago. We
annihilated
annihilated them.
We,
I
their
ho- I
fans
hope
were
y'all
leaving the
do.
stadium. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know that we will.
listen, we need to
see.
get rid of DJ.
Well, we have a lot of holes.
Well, but DJ is the weakest link right now. I'm sorry. Like, he's supposed to be the
So
The
what's the
dream
problem with Florida State? What do y'all see as a major
Well,
issue
we have
right now?
all new players. I mean, we have we're
You
completely
do have a lot
building
of
from
transfers, a
scratch.
lot of NIL.
I don't know exactly. I mean, it's from the quarterback position, I did expect a lot more. When you get someone who's been at multiple schools
Come on.
and
Yeah.
have not succeeded, I expected someone more mobile.
Yeah.
Being that big, if you're that big, I expect you to be able to run and do stuff, but there wasn't much of that.
I feel
And
like
then the
most of the
passes
people
weren't
that
accurate.
move around on schools,
Yeah.
there's a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There
there's
is.
a reason.
There is.
Can
There
I
is.
can I please interject
Yes.
my theory for how Florida State should win future games? And this is completely free. We need to play every game as though we're playing Miami or Florida. Period.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
what you're supposed to do.
Drop the mic. That's
Yep,
it.
that's it.
There's nothing else you need to do. Get that hype, get that emotion, get that power, that desire to win, and you take it to every game. And you do not underestimate anybody.
Yeah, that's what you have to do.
Each play is a game. You got to win each play.
That's right.
If you win each play, you win the game. It's that simple.
So, but you know what? We love our Knowles. Ride or die, we're going to be garnet and gold, and that's fine.
Are you wearing crimson tomorrow?
I'm wearing garnet tomorrow,
Which is similar.
fine.
Yeah.
Very
which
close.
means I can blend in.
Yes.
We will
And
not be
even my
sporting
nails
our
are garnet,
Florida
see?
State wear tomorrow.
The same
Out
thing.
of
Like,
respect for Bama.
there you go. Like last year when we lost, daughter and her boyfriend tore up. I'm like, I didn't even have saving when I went to college.
Exactly. We had Dubos.
Dubos and Shula. I'm like, we sucked. Like, I was like, y'all were just spoiled.
Yeah.
Like, you went to the national
If we won
championship and
4
lost.
games when I was
Yeah,
in
we
college,
lost.
we were good.
Well, I grew up with Bowden.
Yeah.
So that's,
And me too.
Yeah.
Lived down the street from him. And
Oh,
that
I mean,
kind
I
of
didn't grow up
thing,
with him.
and,
I mean,
you
I
know,
went.
and-
I was
So,
in
yeah.
the
And such a
Bowden era.
great coach and great person.
He was
I
the
mean,
goat. I
Yeah,
mean,
he
there's
was.
no one else like Bobby Bowden.
Yep.
Period.
I
Agreed.
mean, there's great coaches out there, and each have their strengths and weaknesses. And
But his
and he was-
personality
yeah.
and every, I mean, it was.
He was just a good
he was
human.
the- yes,
I mean, he
was.
loved his players. He helped them get closer to God. He just helped them be better people, better
Agreed.
athletes,
Yeah,
better
outside of the
students, better
game and
people.
everything.
And what more could you ask?
And it was a different era back then.
It was. It was. I do miss the Bowden Bowls when we used to when he used to play Clemson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was intense.
That was good times.
But hey, Clemson really looked bad. So
Yeah, they
I have
did.
some hopes there.
yeah, that's true.
I'm hoping we
Here you
beat
go, Justin. I'll
Clemson.
help
Thank you.
out a little bit more.
Thank you, sir. I'm not a Clemson fan.
You know,
I'm not either.
listen, like I said, as long as we beat Florida and Miami,
Yeah, you're
I
good.
can hold my head up high.
Okay.
Okay.
That's true.
But garnet and gold forever.
That's how you're supposed to be.
That
Hold
is.
true to your
That
team.
is. Yes.
So did Alex tell you how we met?
No.
Yeah, so that's one of the things. It's our second marriage.
Okay.
And
for
last.
both of us, and our last. Yeah, absolutely. But one of these, yeah, I just I met a guy at a local like hangout, and it was for I think the World Cup when it was in Korea or somewhere crazy where we were up at god awful
It
time
was
in the morning.
2014.
2014, or maybe it was Europe, or it was somewhere, or Russia. And it was just early in the morning, so I'd go in these soccer games, wear my U.S. stuff, and we talked and everything, and got to know him a little bit. But then he saw me out one time with another date, and I was wearing all my Florida State stuff, watching Florida State, and he went home and said, "Hey, remember that guy that I was telling you about I met at soccer? He's wearing Florida State. I wonder if." Alex would like.
There
And
you
so
go.
They ended up texting the information.
And his wife was one of my best friends. Meanwhile, I'm like, I'm divorced and I'm trying to
her
deal
only
with.
requirement for a second husband was that he was either a Florida State fan or alumni.
Preferably alumni, but I would
And
accept
so I
a
was
fan.
alumni,
Right.
so I was a second
Alumni
tier.
makes a difference.
So yeah, once she knew I was alumni, I was alumni.
Wait, and then the second requirement is that he had to look like George Clooney.
I can
One
see.
out of
I
two,
can
one
see
out of
that.
two isn't bad.
He didn't even know he could make wine.
I mean, that's just a bonus,
Yeah, he's
right?
hiding that.
So we're all in.
So she's a big old fan.
I
When it
am the
comes to
biggest
college
fan.
football-
I'm
tell, I
bigger
can
than
tell.
him.
Yeah, she probably is bigger than me when it comes to college football.
That's awesome.
I mean,
her and her
my
college
Instagram.
friends.
Wait. My Instagram is FSU football fan. Go look it up.
There you go.
Really?
Like when you go type in FSU football fan, you
That's
will
you.
find me.
That's crazy. You got that.
It's because I'm OG.
Even though it's not Florida State, I think y'all have a fantastic time tomorrow. I got
we
y'all.
will.
It's lower bowl tickets, like right on the 20, 30-yard line. They're awesome seats.
Damn, dude.
Well, we're
thank
happy.
you.
We're so happy to be
We
here.
won't
Those will be
embarrass you.
I don't care.
Yeah, we won't dress in.
Yeah.
I want y'all to dress like Florida State. It'd be awesome.
That would be cool.
Can I do the war chant?
You
Yes.
should. You'd get on ESPN or whatever.
I'm sure I would.
Nobody could see it since DirecTV blocked out or whatever. All that crap. That
is crazy.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, tell us
Is
last
it?
week when we were trying to get the game on, and we're like,
Can't watch the game.
We were the same
We
way.
watched it on YouTube. Like that's how we ended
Same
up
thing.
getting there because we couldn't find it anywhere else.
Isn't
We're
that great?
going
it's
through
like don't
every
take
different-
away my football.
Yes.
Okay? Like if you just take that away,
Pay whatever you need to pay during college football season.
Yeah.
I mean, DirecTV should be paying ESPN. and-
Yeah, there should be
For
like
real.
a grace
Whatever.
period.
Disney.
Like, hey, we don't agree with each other, but during football season, we'll get along.
it's like a
Right,
truce.
right.
It's gotta be
It's
long.
like a
Yeah,
it's like a
pretty long.
ceasefire, right?
Should be, but it's not.
But yeah, we can all agree that college football
Yes, it's the best.
is life.
I'm gonna say roll tide.
I'm gonna say go Knowles, but it's okay.
Knowles. Yeah. Take that.
Yeah, say
Cheers.
roll Tide
Thank you,
tomorrow.
guys.
You think we're going to roll Tide tomorrow?
I think you will. I think it's safe to say.
She's gonna get caught up in the atmosphere.
I
Hey, but
believe
you know
will.
what?
We'll be
Wait,
respectful.
can I say something?
Yeah.
Florida State's gonna win this week.
Who are they playing?
Nobody.
It's a bye.
Go Knowles.
Go Knowles.
Thank y'all for being on Boozy Spirits.
Awesome time.
Thank you.
Thank you
y'all.
for having us.
All these were fantastic.
Yes.
All these are on the website recipes.
They
Yes.
are.
Awesome.
Yes.
I just want to make this in my house, the hottie toddy. Just
Hey,
to
you know
smell
what?
it.
No, mine's. I still got some.
Fall is here. All you need
It's
is a
good
crock
cold
pot.
too.
Yeah.
That's how
Cinnamon
it
and brown
initially
sugar.
started as cold. I was looking for other things to
Cold
do.
is good.
Yeah.
And we served a tasting. I had like a cinnamon brown sugar version, and people just loved it. I'm like, what if I heat it up? How'd be? And it wasn't
you
quite
go.
because when you heat it up, just like when you have bubbles, it changes the
Yeah,
complexion of
yeah.
it. And so I had to manipulate it some, but it was still. That'll be a flavor when I come out with my flavors. Cinnamon brown sugar
yeah.
will be one of the flavors.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
I'll just enhance
Sounds
it.
like y'all have a lot going on as far as
We do.
in the pipeline.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
But you know
But-
what? We're having fun, right?
Yeah, it's
Oh, yeah.
awesome.
Absolutely. One day at a time.
It's living the dream.
No, one lemon at a time.
One lemon at a time.
Well, congratulations and much success on every state you're going
Can't
to.
wait.
and-
Thank you.
What should we have at your
And
restaurant
thanks
tonight?
to you.
Everything.
We can't have
Good
everything.
stuff.
No, we can't have
What are some of
everything.
your
The
favorites?
pork belly is amazing.
Okay.
If you like pork
Love
belly.
pork belly.
The
Stole that
chicken
from us.
tacos.
Chicken tacos. Are
This
good.
is a Mexican
This is a
restaurant
Mexican guy,
and
yeah.
he loves the chicken tacos.
He stole the pork belly from us. I think we got pork belly tacos.
Can you sue
We don't
him?
have tacos. We next
We-
year,
yours is
next
different,
week
though.
we'll have tacos.
Pork
Pork
belly
belly
taco,
taco with Asian slaw. So it's a
different.
little different. Yeah.
Ours is chipotle slaw, so same thing.
I've always learned to copy and repeat.
That's what you do.
Copy the good
Imitation
stuff
is
and just
the
use it.
sincerest form of flattery.
It
Yeah,
is.
absolutely.
It is.
Yeah, you take it, you tweak it towards your.
And as far as pork belly, this dude knows that whenever I go in there, it's nothing but pork belly. That's all
You have to try
I
that
ever
tomorrow.
order.
We will.
Their
Good
pork
stuff.
belly tacos are great.
Off the chart.
Yours are good too. Yours aren't tacos, but the Korean barbecue pork belly is good.
Yeah.
Is that your pork belly that you have?
Yep.
The Korean? Okay,
So it's
I
a
love
Korean barbecue pork
Okay, I
belly.
like that.
And it's good. Like I always say, people, especially I've noticed with distilleries, like when I was helping with the tequila stuff, talk to somebody else, they're like, "Yo, this is how you make it." Instead of like, "I'm not telling you how you do it." Like I ran into a lot of that when I was trying to get tequila in the state. I'd see it at a package store, but like, where'd you get Renegade Lemonade? I don't know. I'm like, you have to know to order it. Where'd you get it? I can't tell you. And like, me and Matt, like, where'd you get that? That's where I got it from. Call this person, do this. Like, that's how it should be.
It
Yeah,
should
of
be.
So do I
course.
get Renegade Lemonade from ABC or do
No,
I get?
you gotta get it from Pinnacle.
Pinnacle
Okay,
Imports. I can give you their
Please do. I don't think
They
I've
can deliver
ordered
to you
anything
next
from
I
week.
haven't either. Yeah, so I'm gonna place my order. I hadn't got home today. When I get home, I'm gonna send them on my liquor license. So send me yours too, and I'll place
Okay.
it in there and tell them.
It would
Just
be
like
an,
beer
it would
and
be
wine
an
kind of thing.
honor to be carried at both of your places.
You will be.
We're actually talking about updating our wine list, so it's a perfect time so I can add it onto the new list.
That'd be
so-
amazing. Yeah, I mean, think about all the drinks you could make.
Yeah.
So much fun.
For sure.
And don't forget frozen.
Oh, that's really good.
I mean, we can't replicate that
Next
for you,
year.
Yeah, yeah,
we,
but
we make a
trust
slushy
me.
with it.
Oh, I bet it's amazing.
I'll send you the recipe.
For sure, definitely.
Please. Yeah.
It's killer.
When it gets hot again, it's
Oh, yeah.
nice.
It never gets cold here, but
No, it's
You
hot
know-
in December here. It sucks.
Welcome to the South.
yep, that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Well, thank y'all for coming on.
Thank
Definitely.
you.
Thank you.
Enjoyed
Thank you
it.
so
I'm
much.
gonna hit stop and we'll drink some more.
Sounds good.